I wish McDonald's would ease up on the restrictions so when I'm traveling with my dad, I can drop him off so he can go to the bathroom every 2 minutes. But I don't know if you know, but at least in Michigan, many of the places now they're drive-through only. I don't know how it is down in the flatlands of Cleveland.
They look like they're driving only as well here. The lines are always very, very long at ridiculous hours of the day. So I'm with you.
Yeah, I just went on a trip and we joke like in Michigan, they only put rest stops every so often because there's a McDonald's at every exit. But, my dad's like 80 and I'm trying to take him somewhere, but, he's 80 years old, he's on medications, every 3 minutes, a dude needs to go to the bathroom. And he's like, oh, there's a McDonald's up here. And I'm like, yeah, but it's drive-through only. You probably can't go inside. So there's a joke in Michigan anywhere you find the truck stop McDonald's. So if you find a McDonald's in a truck stop, you can get the food at the drive-through and still go to the bathroom and get gas. But yeah, crazy shit. This is how you got to plan stuff in 2021.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But in a more serious conversation, I think you probably got the numbers somewhere because you're the mathematical genius here. But their growth is really solid, like a double-digit growth. And they're basically only using drive-through windows. And I think COVID has forced them to just figure out that, hey, we kind of don't need these dining rooms anymore, right?
Right. The numbers are pretty staggering. So at least this article, the analyst is projecting McDonald's revenues to rise by 10.5%. So they're going to hit 21.2 billion in 2021. Just for reference, 2017, so this is way before COVID, big growth year, 22.8 billion. So they're still not at pre-COVID levels, but like you said, they're doing this without access to the dining rooms. But yeah, I think that we've talked about this before, but this speaks to a bigger trend that you've seen with other fast food joints, right?
Yeah. And just random thought, like when you just said that, I started thinking of like, there's that like cost of capital or customer acquisition. Like, what is the cost of profit in this sense? And do they make, is their growth a couple points higher with the dining rooms? Is their profit higher because of the dining rooms? But what does that little bit extra revenue and profit cost them in terms of headaches? You can't find staff right now. To run a dining room means more staff. You got to clean up, more people at the registers. Maybe it's just not worth the couple extra points to open the dining rooms anymore. When you think about it, it's like they're short staffed as it is. Do you want to open up a dining room, to bring in, it sounds crazy to say this, but only a couple $100 million more, knowing that it probably costs your franchisee significant more headaches to get that little bit of extra growth out. So I think there's a bigger issue at hand. I had this issue with Starbucks during COVID where they hit a limit on how many people they can serve through one drive-through window. They really need that walk in the store business. They just can't pump out the drinks fast enough. So many times the Starbucks line was out to the road and I just said, F that. Like, I don't want coffee that bad. And I went somewhere. I either didn't get coffee or I just went somewhere else. And that's McDonald's right now in Michigan. Anytime you drive by McDonald's anywhere near lunch or dinner, sometimes breakfast, the line's out to the road. I got a picture of a McDonald's sign that says, please be nice to the staff that did show up today.
Right.
Because I waited like 30 minutes in line to pick something up one day. And it's like, I was kind of working in the car anyway, so whatever. But I can see where customers get pissed off, but at the same time, they're understaffed. You got to be thankful that these people are working and contributing to society. But to see that sign at McDonald's and a line out to the street, like, it's got to be hurting revenue a little bit. But then you see these numbers, it's like, well, how much? How much?
Yeah.
How much? How much is it hurting?
To speak to that point, I mean, their projected net income is going to grow by 5.5 billion this year.
Damn.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah, close down the dining room. It's one of those things that if you pick a restaurant, right? Like I don't even care. Pick any restaurant. Pick something outside of McDonald's, something that's doing QSR, fast casual. If they didn't
Panera.
have, sure. I don't ever eat inside a fucking Panera Bread.
Yeah.
Like I think I used to do meetings there like 15 years ago. You stop and get a coffee, do an interview, or you meet someone for a business thing. Other than that, I pick up my food and I sit in my car and listen to the radio. I listen to a podcast. My car is my dining room at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's, what if you just got rid of the dining room? For McDonald's anyways, Burger King, or these places, that doesn't matter. Like, I don't want to hang out and eat lunch in a Taco Bell dining room anyways. Half the time there's like hot sauce shot all over the place. I'd rather eat in my car. So if they could find a way to do more volume or a similar volume through the drive-thru and not have to staff that front counter and clean up everybody's shit, they're probably going to make similar, again, the cost of profit or the hassle. There's a lot of things you can do to make more money, but it's not worth the hassle. And I think like maybe they figured out this was bringing us some extra money, but the hassle to get that money, like not all profits equal.
Right.
There is easier money at the end of the day. And if you can stay busier with the easy money, so be it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You can definitely see kind of a large portion of the country having that culture where they would easily eat in the car, and you know what I mean. But how does that affect like major metros, James? Do you think people eat in the stores there?
I see a lot of people walk around the city eating on the go.
Yeah.
It's funny, like if you go to Chick-fil-A in Chicago, yes, it is packed on the inside. But are you saying those people wouldn't eat Chick-fil-A if they had to walk down the street and eat their sandwich?
Good
I
point.
mean, Ken, I'm not trying to eat a bowl of soup. Like I'm eating a sandwich. Like,
Yeah.
definitely would affect the inner city, but we're looking at the inner city really doesn't have drive-thrus as much either, though. When you think about it, they don't have a choice. Unless you're Portillo's in Chicago, right? That drive-thru is always humming.
Right.
But yeah, I think most fast food joints in the city, you don't have a drive-thru anyways. You could do straight takeout. But again, it's I'm not trying to eat broccoli soup in a bread bowl. I'm trying to get a chicken sandwich, or I'm snacking on some French fries on the go. You know, why are food carts so popular in New York? Who the hell in New York, if they're busy, sit down for an hour lunch anyways? I'm gonna grab a slice. I'm gonna grab a hot dog. I'm gonna grab some chicken. I'm gonna get this. I'm on my way somewhere. And I think that's kind of where America's at right now. You know, I'm not even sure people. I don't know. I'll get Chipotle grill and sit in the car outside because I want to listen to music. I don't want to sit inside Chipotle grill under the world's most uncomfortable chairs. I'm gonna go outside and listen to podcasts or listen to some music. And I always see people outside doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's hard to eat a burrito and drive. Now, have I done it? Yes. You know, is there rice all over? Yeah. We'll clean that shit up when we get home. Like, I knew a dude once was eating like bone-in fried chicken and I got like an 8-piece bucket. He's eating the shit on the way home. It can be done.
Yeah.
But do I want to eat a burrito and drive? No. Can I eat a chicken sandwich and some French fries and drive? Sure. I'm gonna keep moving, right? And I think that's where we kind of found out during COVID that drive-thru is king. In fact, there's a dude at Harvard, Clay something. He did a video. He was doing an engagement somewhere as a professor. I don't remember the fucking thing. But they were trying to figure out why people kept buying milkshakes at this one fast food restaurant every morning. And come to find out, this place sold a bunch of milkshakes because the people had a long commute. It took them a while to drink it, and it kind of, lasted the entire time of the drive, and it filled them up for a couple bucks.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you realize for many people in America, the car is your dining room. So do you need the dining room open at these places anymore? For certain people, sure. Is it hurting revenue? It doesn't seem to be hurting them much, right?
No. Is that Clayton Christensen, the professor?
Yes, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. The one thing that this is a bit of a side story, but the one thing that I've always noticed is very different. So I grew up in Hong Kong and I've spent some time in Singapore and Tokyo, and like the experience of McDonald's in America is very different. In Hong Kong, at least, and in China, going to McDonald's is like it's. I mean, I wouldn't say it's so extreme, but it's almost like a meal out. So like the insides are always really packed. The insides are always nice. That was one thing when I first got to America when I was 18. Like the very stark difference in the McDonald's experience. I mean, the McDonald's near campus in Boston was just like, it was by Fenway Park and it was just grimy. And I just remember thinking, oh my goodness, like this is completely different. So I can see why it would be value add to maybe close those things down.
I mean, if you go back around where I grew up, you didn't walk in any fast food joint without sticking to the floor. Like, there's one particular KFC. Now, we still ate there. Don't get me wrong. The chicken was good. But you walked in, and if your shoes were lace tight, like your foot would pop out your shoe. That's like how grimy the floors were. So I guess, culturally, it's just different. You have seen a lot of these. Yeah, I saw Wendy's. Their new store design is really nice. It's got like the reclaimed wood and industrial look. And you see McDonald's, like people are definitely up in their game when it comes to that experience. But do people care? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But McDonald's tried the McCafe thing. We're going to try to make it look more like a Starbucks. And it's like, well, no, your coffee sucks. I don't want it. It doesn't matter how cool you make it look. But if you can't get people to come clean the shit, then what's the point? And they got a hard enough time getting people to come up and just take orders. Who the hell wants to clean up after sloppy ass, people all day? And I guess that's also maybe that's culturally different too. Maybe in Hong Kong, people didn't make such a mess. I don't know. I've never been there, but I'm just one of those people that even if I'm eating somewhere, if I like spill ketchup, I got to clean the shit up. And if I overfill my pop at the pop station, I got to wipe it all up. That's just who I am. I know. It's that thought of I don't want to push my shopping cart to the shopping cart holder because there's someone there to pick up the shopping carts.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I could say, well, I spilt a bunch of shit. And there's someone here, it's job to clean it up. But I also feel like it's not their job to just like clean up shit because I want to be a slob today. Maybe that's somewhere, maybe there's a cultural difference between, where you lived and here. I don't think that's everywhere though, right? It's
true.
So, dude, there's a Panera Bread on I-94 between Detroit and Chicago, and it was so gross. The whole store and the bathroom. It reminded me of probably what a Waffle House bathroom looks like at 3:00 in the morning on a Friday.
Oh dear!
And I'm like, this is Panera Bread. Like you think Panera Bread's usually bakery, cafe. We got souffles, like
yeah,
a little more like uppity fast food shit. And it was the most disgusting bathroom I've ever seen in my life. And you can see the tracks like kind of walking out of the bathroom. Like, Kane, it was like, I'll never go back there again. Yeah. Never go back there again. But it's an odd spot. They're probably always understaffed. And it's probably the hardest thing to get someone to do is go clean. So what do? Man, I'll open up 2 drive-through windows before I have to deal with that kind of shit, right?
Yep.
Just my own experiences, but so what you in Hong Kong, do you like put a suit and tie on and shit to go to McDonald's?
basically you don't have to tie your shoes as tight, yeah.
The thing about the drive-through window, I'm invested in the hospitality industry, food and beverage. I'm trying to get deeper in there. I always say never underestimate convenience or laziness. If you're in a cold area, who the hell wants to get out of their car in negative, 2-degree weather and it's snowing outside to get food? You need a drive-through window, right?
Right.
You got kids in the car. You want to unbuckle all of them, take them inside to pick up. You don't want to do that. Drive-throughs rule. And we found that out in COVID. Curbside rules, drive-throughs rule. If you can't do that, do curbside. Chipotle lane's cool. You can't actually order the shit at the window, but you order it through an app. And you can drive through and pick it up at a window. If you can get a location to do that, why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, we got McDonald's that they're doing the same or better revenue, pimping everything through a drive-through window.
Yeah.
It's new stores in 5 years, you might see the dining room area just gone, and they might have 2 or 3, drive-through windows.
Yeah.
And, they might be able to up their, revenue by, who knows, 10, 15, 20% just by doing more volume.
Yep.
Who knows, man? But I don't know. Might go get me some fries. I don't know what I'm gonna do right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. It'd be interesting to see the talent side too. Like, do they need as many people even to like you said, that not all profit is the same. So
as long as we're gonna remain in this world where everything's understaffed, yeah, you find a way to make the most money for the least amount of hassle. And that just seems that you can order McDonald's through the app or anywhere now through the app or drive-through window, and I got less bodies to screw things up and call off. I don't got to deal with cleaning. Yeah, I think this it might have just been a wake-up call for something that they discussed and they didn't want to really try, and then COVID forced them to try. Because if it made sense, they would have opened that shit back up by now.
Yeah, right.
But they're like, "No, we're good. We can still do 10% growth with just drive-through window." Like, yeah, I'd probably do that too, man.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
All right.
That's all I got for this one.
All right. Thanks, Jay.